Okay, I am back. I was gonna try and do YouTube as well and like do both, but it won't let me right now. It has to like do allowances or something. So, um, this is just a trial thing. I just wanted to try it out. Um, I don't know if it's gonna work. Let's see. Yay, I think it might be working. But then again, I've never done this before, so let's see. I'm gonna head. So, not sure you can even see me, and I'm not sure how it's all gonna work, but I'm gonna do my best. Um, let's see. I'm kind of trying to figure out everything. I'm using a new program, because I can't make it as easy as just go on Facebook Live. I have to be able to do all the bells and whistles. Um, let's see. Because here's the main thing, like I want to get to where I can see if anybody's there and if you have any questions. But I may be the only one here this morning, and that's okay too. Um, so if you are with me, that's great. If you're not, obviously this will be ready later. Um, I guess my main concern is I want to be able to see if somebody's there because is that vain? I just want to see if anybody's there. Obviously, a lot of the people who would be listening to this and helping with this or be helped by any of this or any of this communication was probably in school right now. I'm in school, actually, you can tell. I'm in a planning period right now, and so I wanted to just kind of go in and figure some things out. And hopefully, I would be able to talk about some of the things I wanted to talk about. Um, but let's see. Sorry, I have the sniffles. Um, because, well, first of all, my room is like ridiculously cold all the time. And also, little thing you may not know about masks, but they can give you the sniffles. I'm not sick. I know that a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you're sick. Don't get near me, which I understand the thing about it, but masks actually make my sinuses go a little crazy. Not terrible. I mean, it's totally doable, but it can make it um, a little hard. But mainly it's probably because my room is like ridiculously cold. I'm just kind of waiting for a second to see if anybody wants to join, and you know, I know everybody's busy, so I get it if they don't. Um, I'm also in the background trying to share with the people who would probably actually could have been asking questions and stuff like that. So I was going to go to one of the Facebook pages and just announce that, hey, I'm live. Mainly it was Somos I think I was going into because I am using Somos more this year because of all the resources all the resources Martina's put out there is so good anyways, but the units that she's put out for help in the flex units is mainly what I'm talking about, is the flex units that Martina has. Um, so that's kind of where I'm headed to go put that there. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I bet it's in my save because I saved the thread because I wanted to do elementary because I'm going to talk about Um, I want to talk about how I'm using Somos because I'm using it with my 3rd through 5th graders. And so I just wanted to do that. You'd think it'd be way easier to like see where people have like commented or whatever, but so far I can't find it. Maybe it's because nobody's watching. Well, that's okay too. I'll just talk to myself. It's all good. Um, Again, depending on the time, because I'm just on my planning period right now, so I'm trying to find. Well, and it's that weird thing too of like, um, I'm going live from my Miss Spanish page, but I'm talking about Somos, which is not my stuff. Obviously, I'm not Martina. Oh, if I could be. Um, so sorry if this is a really boring video. First time doing this, and the other thought that I had this morning was like, oh, I can't do that because it's live or I might get it wrong. But you know what? Like, if I try to wait till I'm gonna get it the way I want it, you'll never see it. Like, I have 5 or 6 videos already like shot and ready to be edited, but I can't get them up because they're not perfect in the way that I want them. And so I kind of had this moment of impulsive to try this morning. So we'll see. Let's see. I'm gonna try this. I don't know if it works. Maybe it'll work. And again, I mean, obviously, this will be here for a while, which makes me sad because the last like 8 minutes is just being, hey, what am I doing? I don't know. So if you don't know me, my name is Amory Mitchell, and I teach kindergarten through 8th grade Spanish. And I've been teaching for about 14 years with CI I went into CI pretty heavily into the second year, so I've been in it for a while. And so I wanted to just talk to everybody today. Like, I wanted to be able to share with you and talk with you about just how things are going, and then talk about some stuff that you probably want to see or people have asked about. Because I know, teachers, we like to share stuff and say, okay, what are you doing? What am I doing? And that's kind of what I wanted to do today and talk about. Okay, so I was going to share with you kind of my plan that was this year, but it isn't going to happen. We all know why. This was my plan. You can kind of see, sorry. Bam. Okay, so here is my plan. Was my plan for uh, for the year. Sorry. I'm trying to do multiple things at a time, which I've always thought I was really good at, but I'm starting to learn I'm not really all that great at it. For the year. Sorry. I'm trying. Okay. So, okay, so this is my plan. This is my plan for the year. I have a curriculum called No Me Digas. You can get it on Teachers Pay Teachers for Miss Spanish. And it's that I've developed, excuse me, sorry, over multiple years of teaching elementary. And I was really excited about using it. I love it. And I've made it available on Teachers Pay Teachers in hopes that it can help other people. Um, but I will say, first shocker of the moment, first shocker of the video, I'm not using my own curriculum this year. That probably sounds really crazy. Here's why. Early on in pre-planning, when I started seeing what I was going to have to do, I realized, hey, Melinda, um, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in there. But when I first came to pre-planning, because this is the end of my second week with kids face to face, and you can see my stickers for having a good temperature. I realized really quick that if I was going to try and do 9 curriculums, which is I teach K through 8, if I was going to try and run 9 curriculums at the same time as doing all this and keeping up with distance learning and mask, and I'm now floating and I can't use my classroom, which is what I'm in right now, I was going to go crazy. Like, yeah, they were going to take me to an institution. So really quickly I realized, okay, I can't teach the way I'm used to teaching, which I know that seems really normal, and why can't I? Why hadn't I figured that out? I think I went in thinking, how do I take what I've already done and just fix it for this year? And that just didn't work. So I had to get really creative. So what you're seeing right now, Melinda, is what I was planning to do for this year. Because I think it's funny to look at it and be like, this is what I was planning to do this year. And it's not anymore. So I can tell you that I'm happy with what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong. Um, but it's different. So my kindergarten, first and second grade, I'm doing one unit. I'm doing them together, and I've never really done this, but I'm putting them all together, and they're all doing the same lessons. And then I'm putting 3rd through 5th grade, and they're doing all the same lessons, and 6th through 8th are doing all the same lessons, and which sounds great on paper, and it's wonderful in helping freeing up. But when you actually look at curriculum, it can be kind of tricky because I've got 5th graders who've done 3rd grade work with me when they were in 3rd grade, so I can't redo that curriculum. So that's why I switched to Somos Flex. I do a little bit of Somos here and there. I think I'm a lot like other teachers who, put this here, put that there. And so I don't use Somos like word for word, script for script in the past. This year, yeah. And so I looked at it and realized that I could start Unit 1 Flex Somos and do it for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, with some differentiation, but it's not a ton, because they have not seen that content yet. That may work for you, that may not, but basically that's what I ended up doing. Somos Flex, and doing it Unit 1, starting. Now, this is my plan for the month, but I can't tell you what's going to happen in September, October, November. But this is what I'm doing. I'm doing Somos Flex Unit 1, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Okay. And one of the platforms that we use a lot is Seesaw. And I love Seesaw. I'm like a huge Seesaw fan. So I started thinking about what I can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did for Lesson 1, Somos Flex Unit 1, for my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. And I tried this out this past week. It went pretty well. I mean, there's going to be some stuff that I obviously change around and do some things. But I thought it went pretty well. And I chose Somos Flex because I love Martina's stuff and it's reliable, and I don't have to adjust it. And it's there. I think you kind of know what I'm saying. I think we need some things that are just ready-made and ready to go, that are reliably good stuff. And that's Somos. So I'm going to show you Seesaw. I'm going to share my desktop. So here is a sample class. I'm going to try and show you without really giving away any of her materials, obviously, because she works so hard on them. And if you're interested in Somos Flex, you just go to Teachers Pay Teachers, Comprehensive Classroom, and you can find it. So here's my sample class of my sample student. So what I do first is I video myself. And if you've not seen Loom, Loom is great. Loom allows you to record your screen. Here's Loom. And you can do all kinds of things. I highly recommend Loom. So basically, I made a slideshow of saying, hey, this is all the stuff that we're going to do in this lesson. It basically gives them an overview of what they're going to do. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where it is. Anyways, so I make this video using Loom. I put up a slideshow like a PowerPoint. You can do Keynote or a Google Slide, and it just says, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Here it is right here. And this is just on their main journal. And I would probably title this whatever it is. But basically it just says like start here or whatever. I used a link, and somebody told me about this called safeyoutube.net. I never heard of it. You can go in and take a link from YouTube, put it in there, and it will give you a new link that you can put anywhere that is safe without ads. Because I know we all have been like, hey, I'm not going to show on YouTube because I don't know what kind of ads are going to pop up. So anyways, here is the link. I'll let you listen a little bit. I think you'll be able to hear the audio. If you can't, I'm sorry. Tell me in the comments and I'll figure out how to get it to you. So it takes them here. I also could download it from Loom and just put the video in there so they don't have to go to links, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. But can you guys hear that? Okay, so sorry if you can't hear the actual audio. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It's like that old advertisement. But basically what this is I go through and I explain, hey, this is what you're going through. Anna Marie, I love that name. That's my name, Anne Marie. Hey Laura. So I go through, I've just made a slideshow and then I put my Loom video. Oh good, thanks Melinda. I put my video right there. Can you hear me, Anna Marie? I hope you can. Okay, sweet. Sorry, when I was sharing the actual video, it wasn't doing, I'll have to figure that out. But I can link it below so you can kind of see it because I don't think there's any content in there that I wouldn't share with that doesn't have like Martina's stuff in it that's copyrighted because I don't want to do that because she's worked so hard on it. So basically I make a video that says, hey, we're gonna do a lesson today. We're gonna, this is what we're gonna do. I use Loom, I put my face right next to it, and then I have a slideshow that just has it on the side. And then, here, I'll switch back to me. That has like on the side, and I'll link it below when I figure out how to do that. This is my first Facebook Live, so sorry about that. But anyways, and it just kind of tells them what to do and gets them started on the first activity. So it says, it actually captures my screen of me going into Seesaw and going to their first activity. And I'll show you that of what my first activity looks like. Again, this is the first time I've ever done Seesaw in this way. So obviously I'm going to be doing it a little bit different as I go along, but this is the first time and I use it this week and it went pretty well. So I guide them to activities and I tell them what activity they're going to actually be looking at. So here is mi diccionario, which is where I led them to. So here you go, guys. You're going to go in here and add a response. Now, I will tell you that I have Pro for Seesaw, which is $120 a year. I think it's pretty good, because it allows me to do multi-page. So you can see here the multi-pages on the side. So I made this. This is not anything super fancy. What I did is I made the actual page for their dictionary, and then I recorded over it and made a recording, and then I took that recording after it was over and made it miniature and put instructions above it, and now they can go in here, and I know you probably can't hear it. I'll figure that out. Okay, and so in that instructions, I go over exactly what I want them to do. I want them to go over here and add a text box, and I want them to write in he/she says. And a lot of my kids got really creative with it. They wanted to make it a different color and other stuff, and I'm fine with that. I put some sample sentences down there, and I explain that in the instructions, and how they do that. And that's kind of their diccionario. And then I added the second page was just the word really, really big. And right here. And then again, after I made this page, I went over to recording and hit recording. And it records the page and it records my voice. So then I did that. And when it comes up, the actual video pops up, but you can resize it. And I put it over to the side. So, and then put instructions on top of it. And so they can watch this and say, okay, what am I supposed to do? And so what I had them do was draw around this with all different things that they wanted to do. They can change the background, but basically their whole idea is to draw things around it. So I had a lot of speech bubbles, like they would go over here to shapes and make speech bubbles, and they would put things that people would say or whatever. So that's kind of what I did there. And then my third page was basically telling them to turn in this page, turn in this assignment, which was their diccionario, and then telling them where to go. And then I also made a video of that because, well, a lot of times if I can add audio, I add audio. Because I have kids who are not as comfortable still reading. Like in third grade, I've got some dyslexic kids. I just would rather offer that audio if I can, so that everybody is comfortable in getting the information the way they can. So whether that's reading or listening to the audio or both. So this tells them go back to lesson 1. So they hit this, or they can hit draft. That's really cool. So like say you're at the end of the class and they're like, I'm not done, they start to cry. Mine will sometimes. And I'm like, it's okay. They can hit draft, and it saves all the work that they've done so far, and then the next time you see them, they can go into it. Okay, so then I went to their actual lesson 1, and add response. So this was, I followed Somos Flex. I did add in Los Pollitos Dicen because I really like it. And I think it's a really good one to put with Dice. Now you might say, I don't know actually if this is the order she goes in, but this is what I did. Okay, so then again, I did a Loom video of me going through Los Pollitos Dicen PowerPoint, which I don't know if is in Flex, so you'll have to tell me. But anyways, I did a Loom video here explaining and talking about the lyrics of Los Pollitos Dicen, and that is her thing. And I'm not going to go through it because this is her content. But basically, I put up that of me explaining what the song is about in the lyrics. And then I went to here, and this is just an instructional page right here. So I tell them you're going to watch 3 different videos of Los Pollitos Dicen, and then I want you to go into the page of your favorite video and put a big heart from Shapes, or some of them drew a heart or whatever. So they're going to watch 3 different versions of Los Pollitos Dicen, and then they're going to put a heart or draw around it. Again, put the audio there because I always like to provide audio if I can. And then I picked 3 YouTube videos that are Los Pollitos Dicen and had them play. I don't think you can hear it. Ooh, that's loud. Okay, so that's that one, and then I think I did this one. I just picked 3. I mean, there was no real rhyme or reason why I picked the 3 I did. I just picked the 3 that looked good and ones I'd use like in class and stuff. And then they listened to all 3, and then they went back and they could add a heart. So if you go over here to shapes, they could add a heart. And some were like, I don't know where the shapes is. And I was like, well, then just draw a heart because you know how to draw. And there it is. And they could put a heart on the one they liked. Okay, so they've done all that, and then I have them come down here, and these 4 pages are where they're going to respond to me. So I put 2 sentences out of the song that I knew that they would learn or knew already. A lot of this is review for my kids because I have them in kindergarten through 2nd grade. So you may do something else a little bit different. But then I have Los pollitos dicen pío, pío, pío. You notice it's a video because basically I'm explaining what it means. I'm going over it in case they didn't catch it. And then explaining to them what they're supposed to do. Then page 7 is them actually doing it. So they're supposed to draw a picture that shows me they know what Los pollitos dicen means. Los pollitos dicen pío, pío, pío. And so they draw me a picture showing me, and then they record themselves over this explaining what it means. I like to do that a lot because when this goes home to parents, they may not know Spanish, or even if they do, they may not know exactly what the assignment was. So by having them record over it, I think parents get a better idea of what's going on. Here is Los pollitos tienen hambre. I do the same thing. Again, I teach tiene hambre like in kindergarten because it's right before lunch. So like every kid in my school knows tiene hambre or tengo hambre. We learned that one pretty quick. So this is again review. I wouldn't throw this at beginners. But again, I have a video that goes over what it means, and then I also have a video, and in the video I tell them to draw something for me. Okay. So then I go back. This is just an instructional. So like, yeah, you're done. That's wonderful. Hit the check mark. Again, they can hit this draft up here if they're not done. I had a couple that weren't done. And they hit draft. I don't know what it does what it looks like from them, but I'll look at it. Okay. So then when they go into activities and they've done a draft, let's see, then they can just go back in, I believe. Anyway, so that's kind of what I do for Seesaw. For that, I plan on continuing to use Seesaw and for my next lessons, and I've got to do those. I'm actually doing this instead of recording, which is what I should be. I'd much rather be talking to you guys than actually going through and doing those lessons. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry. But I knew a lot of people had some questions and on how to do this stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm taking you into my Google Drive because I wanted to show you how I broke down some of the stuff here. One second. Hi. So I'm going into my Google Drive. I gotta find it first. To show you how I broke down Somos Flex, so that I can do it with my 3rd through 5th graders because again, love Martinez Bex's stuff, and I needed something that was pretty ready to go. My kids hadn't done Somos in that way, so I was able to loop 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade together doing Unit 1. But I think it would work if you were on different units. You could still use kind of the same format, but it would be different content. I wanted to show you. So like I was really worried about this. So I sat down and I looked at Somos Flex and like the overview of the digital, what we're doing. And I see my kids twice a week for 45 minutes. So obviously I'm not doing Somos in a week or 6 days. I'm doing it over multiple weeks. So what I did is I sat down and looked at all the activities and saw, okay, what is going to work well in this format, and wrote it out. And I wrote it all out. Sometimes I like to write with pencil and paper, and then I just took a picture of it and put it into my Google Drive so that I would have a picture of it. But I wanted to show you kind of how I broke down Somos Flex. I'm just checking it really quick before I show it to you because I don't want to show any copyrighted material because this is Martinez and Somos and Comprehensible Classroom. This is not my stuff, obviously, so I don't want to give away anything. So what I'm pulling up right now is that picture of how I kind of broke it down, if that makes sense. Um, let's see. I don't know when you guys go back or if you're back yet, but I said earlier in the video, this is the end of my second week. Um, and I mean, things are going great. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that it's super easy. But it's easier than I thought, and I feel like I'm kind of getting a hang on it. You can see my stickers from my temperature being taken, and sometimes, and I don't have a mask on right now because I'm in my classroom by myself. But anyways, for some reason my computer is just being really annoying. But the next thing I plan to do with Somos, the lesson 2, I believe, is they're going to add to the dictionary again. So I'll do another activity where they add to the dictionary, and it's este es un niño, este es una niña. And so that's what we're doing. They're going to add to that. And then my kindergartners are new this year, and they get to know the kindergartners. So what I did was ask the kindergartners some questions, and I'm going to create a slideshow that uses the vocabulary este es, se llama, dice, and they're going to go through 3 or 4 of the kindergartners each day with that information. I'm going to introduce the kindergartners to them and talk about, and I'll use le gusta too, of what they like. And then probably my response, my thought was, I'm going to have a description of, like, we'll go through it. I'll do a Loom video of the slideshow, and I'll go through it. And then what I'll do is on the last like response page, I'm going to have it in Spanish, the description without any pictures or anything. And have, like, I have pictures of my kindergartners and have the pictures of the kindergartners up there, and they'll have to circle which one I'm describing. And I'll do that for a couple of lessons until I've introduced all our kindergartners. The other thing I kind of want to do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, is I'm using Seesaw with kindergarten too, is I would love to, for their first activity, I want them to pull up and video themselves telling all the Spanish they know, because they love to tell me how much Spanish they know, whether they've watched Dora or they've had Spanish before. They love to tell me that they can count to 5 or, tell me some colors or como estás and stuff like that. So I would love to have a video of them saying hola and have them telling the Spanish, because then I can use dice. So I can say Savannah dice and then let her show you what she can do. And I think it'd be kind of cute and fun. And I'm excited about that too, because I wanted to create an authentic communication for information. So like, it's at our school, it's really important that we all know each other's names and that we all know each other really well. And so because they can't go to recess together, and 3rd grade can't be buddies with kindergarten, which is what we usually do when 3rd graders has an actual kindergartner that they're buddies with, and we can't do buddies this year because they can't be together. Like, each grade is their own little pod. And so I wanted to use this to authentically give them something that they want to know, that's important information. So that's my plan, I think, for the next time. And I can't get this to pull up, so maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Sorry, guys. But that's kind of my plan for Somos going forward. I'm going to try and use Garbanzo for 3rd through 5th. I've never used Garbanzo. I think I did with 5th grade, but if anybody's used Garbanzo with under 5th grade, feel free to let me know. I'm a little concerned because 3rd grade are just learning to read for information, so that they're not used to that. And Garbanzo obviously is really heavy on reading right now. I know she's going to add the audio soon. I can't wait for that, especially for my younger kids. But that's kind of, I'm going to use Garbanzo. And the next few weeks is basically going to be me introducing the kindergartners in that slideshow, using the vocabulary. After that, I'll go into the story asking thing and see how that goes. The PowerPoint that she does that you can kind of do multiple ways. And then, of course, I'll do the movie talk new and do that. But if you have any questions, please put them below, either watching right now. I have a few people watching that now. Hello, hola. I'm looking over at my phone because I haven't quite figured out how to look at the comments. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm tired too. It's Friday, and I'm kind of brain dead. Um, oh, there it is. Hey, I found it. Um, I found it. Let me double check it to make sure there's no copyrighted stuff because I definitely don't. I mean, she worked so hard to do all that, and I definitely don't want to do something like that where I put copyrighted stuff out there. This may work, guys. It may work. To see how I'm breaking it down for my. So if you're just joining me, what I'm about to show you is how I'm breaking down Somos Unit 1 Flex for my 3rd through 5th graders who I see twice a week for 45 minutes. Let's see. I think I'm okay. I don't really see anything on here that's giving anything away. If you see something, let me know. Okay. So here is my picture of my, right. This seems so like low tech, but like I really like to use a paper and pencil. And so I wrote all this out and then I took a picture of it because I didn't want to just transfer it. Anyways, so much like so you'll see the numbers over there are lesson numbers. So lesson number 1, I'm establishing meeting. So I have a Loom video of the dictionary page that I use, and I showed that earlier in the video of how I use that on Seesaw. And for each lesson, I have an intro video that I create through Loom and a PowerPoint that just goes through of like, hey, this is what we're going to do today. And this is how you get started on the very first thing. So I do that. And it's a way just to say hello and stuff like that. The second, you can see in here, the second Loom video is explaining the lyrics of Los Pollitos Dicen. And you saw that on Facebook. You saw that on Seesaw as well. Then they watch the video. Mine actually watch 3 different videos and pick their favorite, and then I have them draw the response for 2 phrases. And then once I have everybody on Garbanzo, we're gonna try Los Pollitos Decent. But when I actually went in there and looked at it, I was like, ooh, this is maybe a little bit too complicated. I don't know. I got to go back and look at it. But all my kids aren't approved on Garbanzo quite yet with all my parents, so I'm gonna have to. We're gonna try that out next week. Anyway, so that was my lesson 1. I know it says 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Then I'm on number 3 right here. I don't know if you can see it. 3 right there. And so I'm going to add to the dictionary page, do something very similar to what I did with Seesaw for este es un niño, este es una niña, dictionary page on Seesaw. And then we're going to try Garbanzo next week and see if we can get on to que es esto. And I'm going to like actually do it with them. Oh, I didn't really explain my situation. That probably would really help. I'm going into their classrooms, so I don't have a classroom. And so you may be wondering, well, why am I not just teaching normal? And I get that, and I thought through it. But as a special teacher, you kind of know that you have multiple hats, and one of my hats is going to be helping with subbing because we can't allow a lot of strangers into our building to sub. And so I might get pulled for subbing. I might get pulled for something else. Plus, I might go out on quarantine because something, maybe one of my family members gets sick or another kid gets sick. And so I'm having to offer distance learning, in-face learning, and possibly sub plans. And I decided pretty early on to keep me sane. I'm going to teach it as if it is a digital course, even though I'm in the room. That was a really hard decision for me. And I'm really sensitive about it, to be perfectly honest. And the fact that I am telling you seems a little surreal because it's not the best for my kids. But when it came down to it, the way that I could offer consistent instruction over the year, this was the only way I could figure out how to do it. And again, it may not, I don't think it's going to be for the whole year, but the first few months, I'm teaching this as if it's just digital and they happen to be in the room while they're doing it. I also feel like it's training them to do the digital work. So if we do go on distance learning, they can do it at home and don't need me every time. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm doing. So then you can go down here to where it says intro to 3 kindergartners or 4, I don't know. And I'm going to use this vocabulary and I basically am going to create a slideshow with the kindergartner's picture and then a little blurb about them or multiple slides about them using este es, se llama, le gusta, and then dice. I hope to have a video of them telling me all the Spanish they know so I can say, será, dice, blah, blah, blah. And then the response to that is going to be draw under the photo something about them. I could do that. The other thing I came up with while I was looking at this is having the description again and then having the 4 different pictures of the kindergartners, and they have to circle which one I'm describing. I don't know. I'll go through that, but that's going to take multiple lessons because I want to do all the kindergartners in there, and so I'm only doing 3 or 4 at a time. So that's kind of what I'm doing. A response video. Oh, and then since the kindergartners have introduced themselves to them, I kind of wanted them to do a response video, and we're going to kind of let them use that vocabulary very simply and let them respond to the kindergartners using that vocabulary. That's what I think. If I get in this and realize, hey, this is not going to work, they don't have the vocabulary, they're not ready for output yet, then obviously I will change that. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then I'm going to go into Ask the Story, where they create the story. I don't know if you've seen that in the Somos Flex, where she has basically like create your own adventure kind of thing, but it's linked through the slideshow. So you can go through. I'm probably going to do that. And then I have one more page, I think, of notes. I started not writing quite as much because I didn't want to get too ahead of myself, because honestly I've learned you can't get too far ahead of yourself because things change, and so this takes me well into multiple stuff. Let's see what I even have. I don't even know what I wrote on that second page. I can't remember, at least. Here it is. So La Kangaroo. Oh yeah, there's a audio recording and the reading and then some questions I'm gonna do through Seesaw, and then we're gonna storyboard La Kangaroo and go from there. But I hope that kind of helps, because I know a lot of you were like, how are you using Seesaw while doing Somos Flex? So if you have any questions for me or want any of the things that you saw that I can give you, like the Seesaw activities or the PowerPoints, or if you have a question about tech or anything at all, actually, or what is it like teaching face-to-face, anything like that, put it in the comments below and I will answer it. Maybe I can answer it again next week. So I hope this helps. I wanted it to. I kind of wanted to sit down and just like I'm having a conversation with you during my planning over coffee, and just try and help as much as I can, because so many people have helped me. So anyways, you guys can do it. You really can. And please, let's all help each other. Please put anything in the questions. If I don't have the answer, I'll look for it, and we'll help each other out. All right. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful morning, and I'm going to go teach them Espanol. Adios.